Hey, what's up everyone, Same Time Gaming here. Welcome back on the Division 2 build video. Well guys, a couple of weeks ago, I made a Backfire build with Striker, and we were doing like close to 3 million crits on the body. That didn't had any hazard protection, obviously, but the one that did had hazard protection, we were doing around 1 million and 1.1 million crits on the body, right? And that was pretty good. But a lot of you guys said, like, this is a good build, but we can't really use it when we are solo because there is no survivability on it. Because I was using, like, Ninja Bike backpack and stuff like that, and there was no, like, healing at all. So what if I tell you that I have another Backfire build, which obviously has the damage, we also got the survivability, and obviously we're not going to take any bleed at all. Sounds good, right? Or too good to be true, I don't know. But I'll show you. But before that, I want to ask you guys, how much damage you guys are okay with when you're playing solo? I don't know about that because nowadays people's damage number, like, threshold has increased. Like, people like want to see higher damage numbers. Nobody's happy with 300k 400k nowadays, right? It's okay, we're not doing that much. We're doing way more than that. We're doing 850k crits on the body when we are solo, obviously. And if you get any group buffs, we're going to be hitting that million mark, man. If you get any damage buff from your group members. Now, technically, you can use this build with, legendary mission as well. But again, for that, you need some support. You need a little bit of healing. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit for that legendary content. And also, you need a little bit of damage buff so you can easily hit over 1 million crits on the body. But like I said, for that, you need a friend, which you don't have any. And that's why you're watching a solo build video. Let's be honest that, right? Like, yeah. Anyway, so the build I have, obviously, it's a Backfire build. And we have no Striker at all. We're not using Striker. We're just using high-end. Just good old high-end pieces. So let me just show you before you lose interest because I'm just stalling at this point. So watch this. So this is the build right now. You can see there's a bunch of high-ends happening here. I will tell you what exactly you need, what pieces you need to make the build work properly, okay? So first of all, gunner specialization, absolutely there. It's a crit build. It's a survivability kind of build. We need that 10% armor and kill from there. Gunner, always gunner. You can also use firewall if you want, but I would say just gunner. Just go gunner. All right, obviously we got Backfire. Backfire is insane. We got damage from it because of the talent. We get 200% crit damage from this every time we fire, so we get stacks on that. We all know that. It lasts for 10 seconds, but if you keep fighting enemies, if you keep landing your shots, you're gonna get that crit damage with you all the time. So you need to be in combat pretty much all the time. Like, you just gotta hit your targets. I mean, it kind of works with the skills as well. Like, you can hit some skills. You don't have to hit an enemy to keep the damage active, which is kind of funny. It works. The secondary weapon, lefty. It's not leaving me at all, even though if I don't use it, it's going to be there because perfect sledgehammer. If I'm in a mood, I can throw a grenade. Yeah, if you're using gunner, be careful that you don't have the foam grenade, you know what I mean? Because if you throw that white stuff out, nobody's gonna proc the sledgehammer for you. You need some grenade that deals damage, okay? You need a grenade that deals damage. You don't want to throw that foam thing. Yeah, trust me. And now, for the gear, what's happening? Obviously, we're using memento. That's what's gonna carry our survivability a little bit. We got that armor on kill from the gunner, right? We're gonna get the armor regen from the memento. And once we get that, it's really good survivability. We got the damage. We also get bonus armor from memento. It's just going to be the best backpack in my opinion for a solo player. Now the previous one, obviously, when I made with the Striker, I was using Ninja, but we don't obviously going to use that because we need the survivability, and that's why we're using this memento. Now you can actually use a high-end backpack for that. I guess just use a high-end backpack with maybe some sort of a survivability talent, like I guess Bloodsucker or Adrenaline Rush. Yes, don't forget about that, Adrenaline Rush. You could use that. However, memento is just too good. You can't ignore it. Now, as for the high-end, what's happening? See, all the high-end pieces I have, you don't have to put everything the way I have. You don't. You can use anything, anywhere. Anything, anywhere. But you just have to make sure that you have 2 pieces of Sheshka. Okay? 2 pieces of Sheshka, you need it absolutely, because 10% crit chance from 1 piece set bonus, 10% hazard protection from the 2nd piece set bonus, and that's what you need. And you want to have hazard protection attribute in your crit chance slot. Like, usually what we build crit chance, crit damage all the time, right? So instead of that crit chance, we want to put hazard protection, but we keep the crit damage. See what I mean? So that's basically what you have to do. Just every piece like that, okay? That's all. Now, we need 1 Sokolov because SMG damage, 10%. That's a good thing. And the talent I'm using on the chest piece is Obliterate. You could use Intimidate if you want, or Spotter, but then for Spotter, you need a Pulse, I guess. But yeah, Obliterate works fine. Just set and forget. Don't worry about that. And obviously, make sure you have crit chance and crit damage. Now, this one I actually have crit chance and not crit damage, but it's okay. Our crit chance is really, really high. You need to focus on getting your crit chance higher because the crit damage, we don't have to worry about it. We're going to get the crit damage from the backfire. We actually have 300% crit damage on this build. So yeah, now for the mask, since I'm using a Yal gear, now you have to use a Yal gear because of the 10% hazard protection it provides. But since I'm using a mask of Yal gear, I actually chose the Hollow Man. Now this is a named item, kind of rare, to be honest, not going to lie. So if you don't have it, it's okay. Just use a high-end piece. Just any high-end piece. Now, it could be the mask. It could be the holster. It could be the gloves. It doesn't really matter. As long as a Yal gear piece. Okay? That's all it matters. But I'm using the Hollow Man here. Because it gives us 10% of health damage. Can't ignore that. It's not only for red NPCs. It's actually for all the NPCs that doesn't have a health bar. I mean, sorry, armor bar. So, for example, something like a Chunga, you know, or the Warhounds, you know, they don't have armor bar. So, health damage works perfectly fine for them. Now, obviously, we have hazard protection here. Now, I did slap in a bleed resistance mod here as well instead of crit damage mod. The reason why, because we're using memento backpack, and memento doesn't give you any hazard protection attributes or anything because it's an exotic and you can't change it. So, because of that. Now, for the holster, again, I have a Grupo here. And, you know, you could actually use a Grupo or use another Sokolov because technically one piece of Grupo gives you 15% crit damage and 2 pieces of Sokolov also gives you 15% crit damage. So, again, like I said, whichever one you have, put it. You don't have to put a Sheshka gloves. You can use a Sheshka holster. You know, you can do it like that. As long as you have these pieces, you'll be fine. Now, let me show you the stats. So, I have 58% crit chance, which is a lot of crit chance, let's be honest. And we also have 101% crit damage. With the backfire, we're doing 301% crit damage because backfire gives us, you know, 200% crit damage. Now, as for the defense stats, we have 80% hazard protection here. And 99.8% bleed. I mean, that's actually 100%. The other bleed resistance mod that I have is 9.8. So that's why. Otherwise, yeah, it's actually 100%. So 80% hazard protection is not bad. You're going to be immune from pretty much everything. You might take a little bit of status effect from like fire or like EMP or shock, but that's only going to stay for half a second. If you get any higher than this, for example, 90%, then you're not going to feel anything like, yeah. You don't really need 100%, to be honest, to be bleed resistance. But it's nice to have, let's be honest. Especially when we're using a directive, like special ammo directives, fighting against True Sons, they're going to bleed you. And the bleed hits really hard. Like, it really does. So, yeah, that's pretty much the build. Give it a try and you'll understand. Now, as for the damage, I can show you the damage in the shooting range. It's not going to be as high as the damage I would do in the open world because my memento is not active. But I'll still show you. I actually want to show you something funny about here because we do have one blue core. I'm going to show you all red. Hold on. So first of all, we just keep on building the stacks really quickly. And you will see the damage just ramp up. So we got Obliterate active already. And we're hitting that 400k, going to that 500k mark already in the body. And we didn't even hit 100 stacks yet. Now, we need 100 more stacks. So let's just get that real quickly. We're actually going to be doing like 596k right now on this one with one blue core. But when we do get that red one, that's going to be really high. So look at that, 200 stacks right now. And we're doing 596k on the body when there is armor. When there is no armor, when there is a health bar, it actually goes to 656k courtesy to the Hollow Man because, you know, health damage. So if you see a health bar enemy, they're going to die even quickly because of that extra damage. So that's the damage pretty much it's doing without memento buff. Remember that, okay? Now we're going to just swap this Hollow Man piece we have here. Because it gives us armor. So we want to use a mask that gives us a weapon damage attribute. Core attribute. And make sure we don't have any crits. This one, doesn't have any crit chance of crit damage, right? So we're going to choose this Bellstone over here. This also doesn't have any crit chance of crit damage. So we're not even going to add any mods on it. We're just going to switch to this mask because it has weapon damage, right? So that's only the reason. Now let's just see how much damage we do with all red now. We're technically all red, yeah? Are we? Yeah, we're all red, yes. So let's see. We're pretty much going to be hitting 630 or something. Now, I'm taking a bleed a little bit because I just lost the hazard protection because I didn't put the mods and stuff. It's okay. We're just here to see how much damage we do with all red with this current setup, right? So I'm guessing... Oh, we're already reaching that 600k mark. Yep, we are. We still have some stacks to go. Yep, there you go. 625. We're going higher than that as well. 636. Okay, 636k. So the blue core, the one blue core was hitting 596 and this one is hitting 636. Again, without Memento's buff, okay? With Memento's buff, this easily goes 850k with all red. And if you're using one blue core, it's going to be 815, 1-5, that is. So yeah, pretty good. It's a pretty good damage for a solo player, I would say. And, you know, you should definitely give it a try and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now, I do have another variant that I want to kind of use with the Backfire, but not with the, you know, hazard protection. I want to kind of take the bleed, but I would counter that bleed with like Regen. That's something I have in mind. I'm going to test that and see if it is working, and then I will give you the build, because if I can't work it around with it, then I don't usually post the builds, because if it doesn't work, then there's no point on it. And yes, you guys are right that everything doesn't have to be striker, and that I understand that, and that's why I'm making this high-end build and giving you the option to use it when you're solo as well, because, you know, the striker build that I give with the Backfire, it was completely meant for like group gameplay, and, you know, with the team buffs and stuff, you're doing crazy amount of damage. With this, you can just run around in open world, you know, do control points and stuff on heroic missions and stuff, add a couple of directives or 3 directives like I'm doing, and don't get afraid by that, you know, the special ammo directive, because you're pretty much immune. So definitely do that, and just don't put the armor regen directive though, because if you're using memento, because, you know, you're not going to get that armor regen, so it's going to be useless. So keep in mind. Otherwise, yeah, great build. Give it a try. Let me know your thoughts, and so, you know, if you have any feedback, you can do that as well. And if you like this video and it was helpful, then hit that like, and you want to see future content like this, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.